That's an intro.
Is there a baking aisle?
Milk chocolate.
Alright,
Sugar,
flour,
morsels,
eggs,
vanilla, butter,
morsels,
baking soda. This is a cookie. No measuring cups. Oh,
They're
well,
illegal.
Welcome to our next edition of Derek and James Cook Stuff Without Measuring Cups or Recipes. There is a recipe on the back of this bag. We will not be looking at it. We know that these are the ingredients because we did look at the back of the bag. But we did not look at how much go in each one. There's a lot of people over across the street where our bosses are, and so they're in for a treat
So
today.
we'll see. Can we make it? Is this a third cooking video?
Yes,
Can we make it 3 cooking videos without getting fired?
3.
Or having food poisoning?
Part 3. There can be food poisoning in this. Maybe the eggs. Salmonella. Cook your
Alright,
eggs.
beat the eggs first? Oh, I should beat the eggs. I should go 3
You're
eggs.
supposed to add flour before eggs?
Like, whoosh. You know, like this one-handed. Pop. Pop. Bam. We're professionals on this show.
Flour. I'm thinking like half a stick.
Half a stick.
What? You thinking more?
I don't know. Oh, there's eggshell in here. Gross stuff.
Mmm.
These eggs do not look healthy.
My wife Rachel doesn't care about that raw egg deal.
She just eats raw eggs.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah. It's like a lot of brown sugar, huh?
Oh my gosh.
That's not right?
That's so much. I don't know.
Is there supposed to be salt in these?
Yeah. Be the salt. Be salt.
Be salt.
Okay, is that right now?
Baking soda. I know you're not supposed to put a ton of this stuff.
Yeah, that stuff's, yeah. I might put more than half a stick.
Here's half, so you can put a stick and a half. This does not seem right. This is gonna be our worst cooking video yet. Kylie Banks actually gave us this idea. It does not look good yet. It's a work in progress. Can we just put this whole thing in the microwave? Oh well. It doesn't seem, I'm about to get in there with my hands. We have already preheated the oven.
Yeah, we thought ahead this time.
375 is what we are guessing. Like essential oils. Can we add some water maybe?
I don't know how much baking soda to add to stuff. That's probably good. Some people laughed in our faces when we said cooking without recipes or measuring utensils.
You will see.
You know what we said? Psh, look at all that sugar.
Wine out of water.
Mash, 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 mash.
I got a ball. It looks like a big cookie. Should I make a cookie cake, like one big cookie? I don't know what's going on here. This is gonna be terrible. Alright, well.
Also, if anyone is looking to buy a present for me, I love Fig Newtons.
What do you think?
That looks like cookie dough.
It looks like cookie dough.
Yeah, I don't know how mine's doing. We'll find out. I don't know if it's getting better or getting worse.
Do not eat raw eggs. All right, it's time to put some of these babies out on a tray.
I mean, that looks like cookie dough, you know?
Somebody really does need to think about giving us a cooking show or
A
something.
raise.
Melt your butter first, children.
Protein.
Protein cookies.
Some protein. Oh, it's so sticky. Uh-oh. Where did you keep finding these utensils at?
You had an extra pair of gloves this whole time.
That's gonna be a big cookie.
Should we have sprayed these pans? Or is that what the parchment
I think
paper?
that's what the parchment paper is. Really?
I don't know. You know what the heck? Cookies are exhausting. That's a big cookie.
Do you think you can make better cookies than this? Well, first off, you're wrong. Taking off, bro. Challenge us to a cook-off. We'll show up. Also, you should drop in the comments what you think we should cook next.
This video started off as like, this is gonna be the worst thing ever, and then it went to like, this might not be that bad, and now it's back to like, these are gonna be pretty bad.
I'm pretty sure taste is like 70% smell. Except for oysters, I love those things. They do not smell good.
Oysters.
Yeah, I love raw oysters.
It's like Mexican restaurants aren't really known for their catfish.
How many chocolate chips do you think I can get in a row in my mouth?
One.
Oh, shoot.
Zero.
That doesn't count.
You made one.
Oh, round two.
One.
You got it?
Shoot,
Two.
you beat me.
Three.
Oh,
Three.
and I puked everywhere. All right, everybody. This is how they look so far. Look at that. Not bad. Not bad.
Presentation is everything, kids.
We're getting there.
Ghost. My sons, you have done it.
Oh.
Something's wrong. Something's definitely wrong with those.
So this is what mine look like. It looks like they have ants that ate through them all.
Termites.
Your favor waits within the future. My dreams are small compared to yours. Why should I worry about tomorrow when I know that all I gotta do is trust you, Lord? Every little thing's gonna be alright. Every little thing's gonna be just fine. Whether I can see it now, I know you will work it out for good. Every little thing, everything will be alright. Behind the scenes and in the details, you plan the perfect way for me. Why would I dwell upon the roads and certainties when all I gotta do is look to you? Yeah, all I gotta do is look to you. Every little thing's gonna be alright. Every little thing's gonna be just fine. Whether I can see it now, I know you will work it out for good. Every little thing, everything will be alright. Every little thing, every little thing. Every little thing, every little thing. Whether I can see it now, I know you will work it out for good. Every little thing, everything will be alright.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our Wednesday night watch party. If you're watching us live, join us over in the chat. Leave a prayer request. We want to get to know you, know who all is watching If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave us a like.
Get the bell on.
Get the bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
All of those things for YouTube. We had a pretty good week last week with YouTube. We got over 100 subscribers on YouTube. And
Let's go. I got to jump off of a trampoline.
Yay, us. So all of those things, we just want to welcome everybody wherever you're joining us tonight. We're going to do a recap of what we talked about in person at our churches on Sunday and talk a little bit about how extraordinary God is. In Abingdon, we talked about first, what do we think is our most important trait? What do we think of ourselves? What do we hope to be in our lives? Not what do we hope to do as in a sport or in athletics or in a job, but what do we hope to leave our mark on in our life? And we talked about how it's so important to start realizing that. It's not as important to figure out what you're going to do the rest of your life, but to what you want to be known for. But one of the most important traits, we went through a quote from a guy named A.W. Tozier, and he says, what comes to our minds when we think about God is the most important thing about us. And so he sets that out there, saying that what we think about God is one of the most important things about us. And so we were trying to figure out what we all think about God, going through all of the different scenarios of who we picture God as. But ultimately, he is this extraordinary person that we can usually not even wrap our minds around, that we have no full understanding of who he truly is. But in the end, that's the whole point. He doesn't expect us to know everything that's going on around us. We're going through a really tough year in 2020 with everything, and he doesn't expect us to understand everything that's going on. Sometimes we're wondering where he is, why he isn't speaking out, why he isn't moving in our lives, but we aren't looking in the right places sometimes. And the Bible verse that we went over was in Isaiah chapter 40, verses 12 through 18, but we're only going to read a couple of them. It starts off and it says in verse 12, "Who else has held the oceans in his hand? Who has measured off the heavens with his fingers? Who else knows the weight of earth or has weighed the mountains and hills on a scale?" And then on down to verse 18 it says, "To whom can you compare God? What image can you find to resemble him?" And so Isaiah is really talking about, in this whole chapter of Isaiah, the first 39 chapters are pretty doom and gloom. The Babylonians have captured the Israelites. They're in slavery. But then there in verses, chapter 40, he starts saying, God is understanding. God knows all. He has a plan for all things, and kind of put into motion. And while we're questioning sometimes what our life is right now, why we aren't doing so well, why our parents are arguing, why we are going through so many things at school, but he's saying, I have a plan for all of this. And we kind of closed out saying how Martha and Lazarus were brother and sister, and Lazarus was dying, and Jesus was going through the towns, and Martha sent a message to Jesus saying, I need your help. Lazarus is dying. And Jesus told the disciples, we're going to stick around a couple more days here. Lazarus is going to be sleeping, which he's going to be dead. And so it was kind of questionable why he was doing all this. And he finally showed up, and Martha came up to him and said, if you had only been here sooner, my brother Lazarus would not have died. She was questioning God, but right in the next verse she says, but I know that God is going to work through you in this. Mm-hmm. So she was trusting. We have to trust. We have to have patience. We have to have a perspective that God is going to work through everything in our lives. He knew that Lazarus was going to die, but he knew that the purpose for that was to raise him from the dead and show the miracle worker that he truly is. So God is extraordinary, unfathomable in our minds to wrap around how great of a person, how the plans that he has for us are so extraordinary. But that's kind of what we went over in Abingdon. What did you guys talk about in Bristol?
Yeah, we talked about what does it take to take something old and make something new out of it. And so that's why we're filming in the shop out here today. For an example, for you guys to kind of see, hey, what does it mean to take something old and make something new? So a couple weeks ago, I went out and bought a lot of pieces of wood actually from an over 100-year-old barn. We'll put it in a picture of it. And it came out, and so the wood looks like this when you buy it. It looks nasty. It looks like there's dust and dirt all over it, and it just looks bad. There's nail holes, there's wormholes, all that stuff. What people thought its purpose was to make a barn. It had purpose at one point. It was a great purpose. It stored food for animals, all that good stuff. But after a long time, after years of winters and rains and storms, all of a sudden the wood that was once brand new looks old and nasty. And so we took that wood, we cleaned it up, we sanded it, and we made these awesome tables out of it. And so we'll show you guys a video right now of some of the tables and what they look like. But the thought of taking something old and disgusting and really purposeless or just kind of useless and putting new purpose and new intent for it and making something useful out of it isn't just like a human theme, but it's also a biblical theme. We talked about a story in Luke chapter 15. It's a story of the prodigal son, and it's this son who asks his father for his inheritance before his father dies. He leaves and blows it all, and he comes home, and his father still welcomes him in with open arms. And we talked about this story, and then we look at ourselves and we think, man, if I could just see like all the things that I've done and how far I have strayed, I would think, man, there's no way God could love me. And I'm talking about like what you guys talked about. Hey, like God is all powerful. He's all knowing. He is this being who is full of love and justice. And we look at ourselves and it's like, man, there's no way God could take something old like me, even if I'm just in middle school or high school. If only you knew what I'd done, if only you knew the addiction I had, the sin that I had, the problem that I had, there's no way God could use me for something. But God takes something old and makes something brand new. It's the gospel. It's, hey, I'm going to put my son on a cross and then he's going to raise new in 3 days. It's the story of Lazarus being brought back from the dead. It's the story of baptism. What is going under in death, coming up to life in Jesus. It's the gospel. It's taking something old and making something new with it. It's taking something that doesn't have purpose and giving a brand new purpose to it. Listen, and maybe your life doesn't feel like it has purpose. Maybe you feel like, hey, I've been wondering about this Jesus thing, this God thing, this Christianity thing for a long time, and I just don't know what it means. Man, I want to encourage you to take that first step today. To be able to say, hey, my life has purpose, and my purpose is to show people who Jesus is in my school, on my sports team, in my family, in my friend group, wherever it is, and just take that step and say, hey, this is my purpose. This is no other thing matters. No whatever you describe me in the past, if it was just a useless barn, hey, I have a new purpose in life, and that is to show people Jesus. And I want to encourage you guys to take that first step today. But yeah, that's kind of what we talked about in Bristol.
Yeah. So, I mean, to go along with that, the same God we think that may not be able to change our lives around, shut the mouths of lions. He parted the seas. Mm-hmm. He did all of these miracles. So what makes us think that he can't change our lives around from doing these things that we think are so big, but in God's eyes are so small? Yeah. And so like James said, if this is the first time hearing about the gospel and you want to follow Jesus, by all means, get in contact with us, hit that thumbs up button, the raise your hand button, next steps, and we'll get in touch with you. But we're just so excited for what this season is bringing. God is turning things around. He's walking in our lives. You want to pray for us, James?
Yeah, absolutely. Dear God, thank you so much for loving us. Thank you for taking things that are old and starting new things. God, thank you for just the relaxation and the breath that we can take, knowing that you're in control of all of this, no matter how much it seems like there's just chaos, God. To you is complete order, and you know exactly what you're doing. God, I pray that if someone is out there today that is wondering about taking their first step, that they can take their first step, and in order to do that, they just pray, and they can say it right now where they're sitting. They just say, God, I know I'm messed up. I know that I'm a sinner, God, but I believe that your son died on a cross for me, and he rose 3 days later. God, I want you to make something new out of my life. I want to start anew. I want to start this life following you. God, I just pray you forgive me. Lord, I love you. And listen, if you prayed that right now, just go ahead and let us know in the comments, message us on social media, just do something. But God, thank you for loving us. Thank you so much for this message. Thank you for this week, God. Thank you for this year. Even though it might seem like it's chaos, God, we know that you're in control and we're going to see you work through it. God, thank you so much for loving us. We love you too. Amen.
Thanks so much, guys. Like James said, join us on all of our social medias. If you need anything at all, message us. Instagram, HF_HF students YouTube.com/HF students for the first time we got that domain.
Yes.
And we will see you guys again here next week if you're joining us online or on YouTube anytime if that's where you're at right now. Thanks so much. Have a great week. This is episode 3 of James and Derek Cook Without Recipes or Measurements. First was a bread video. Second was a pizza. Third is a cookie video brought to you by Kylie Banks' suggestion. She suggested cookies while we were at Walmart today. Put all the way around. Which do you vote for? Site A or B?
A.
We got 1A.
1A.
Becca?
I also vote A.
2 A's.
That one looks like grits.
Okay.
So I'm probably
3A.
A.
A.
I'm going A. That is a
I need
that's
Ellen
a
Jesse
muffin
here.
cookie.
Okay. Right here, Lisa.
A.
Jim.
Hey.
Hey.
Wait a minute. Which one are you pointing at?
This is B.
This is
Oh,
B.
So we got one B. Hey.
Hey.
Maybe half there.
They smell good. They do smell nice. That's a good
Okay, yeah. Just eat it. Taste.
Oh. It's okay.
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 Becca.
I can't tell
Skip,
you what I'm
Becca.
feeling.
Is that a good thing?
No, I don't like it.
All right,
Aw.
Nathan.
I was pretty honest with the pizza, and I feel like I really put it down. But I don't think the cookies are bad.
Hey.
Steve.
I think I like it.
Oh,
Steve
going
in
back for
second.
seconds. Let's go.
Craig.
Yeah, I'm thumbs up on it because it was crunchy on the outside, but it's chewy on the inside.
Yeah.
Craig is a good descriptor.
Okay, okay.
Texture-wise, it's good.
Lisa.
I really like it because it's not overbaked.
Okay.
Mm.
Really, it's good.
Jim.
I give it a C+. I love the chocolate.
C+. Hey, the chocolate, I did have a bag of that.
Tim.
It's not the best cookie I've ever had, but it's not the worst.
I'm a little worried about this one.
That's
I bet
dense.
this is the
You
James
want to hold one?
My things are always thicker.
How much flour did you use?
We just said we don't worry about ingredients. We just cook from our hearts.
This one's stuffed crust.
Stuffed crust cookies. All right, Angel, give us your.
I love a callback.
We haven't even eaten it yet.
It's fluffy.
Don't be scared.
Fluffy.
Oh, what? You can't taste
It
that.
smells like a muffin.
You didn't even get a chocolate chip. Oh, no.
Tastes like a muffin. Becca.
I like the first one better.
Oh yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Angel, A or B?
Hold on. Sorry.
Okay, we'll come back to Angel. Nathan.
No, it tastes interesting. Not really. Not really a cookie. More, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's
Bread.
kinda weird. Bready
Pizza.
cookie.
A or B?
One or two. Not like a.
That doesn't sound very enthusiastic.
I don't know, guys.
Steve.
Put it down. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It definitely ate.
You need to go back for a second one.
No.
Craig.
This is a chocolate chip biscuit, and the taste is okay. I'm definitely going with A.
Okay. Lisa.
So it's very bland.
Mm.
It's fluffy and it looks
Happy.
like it should taste better than it is.
There's a lot.
So,
There's a lot of eggs in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
One
what
A.
We'll explain.
It's a protein.
It is protein. It's stuffed crust, man. There's stuff you don't.
Okay, I love the design of it,
Okay.
but I definitely like the taste of this one much better.
Let's go for the sweet Tim Lemons.
Peanut
If, for those of you watching at home, it truly smells like a muffin. A is definitely a better cookie, tasty-wise, and B is not as bad as I thought, but it's decent. I'd say the B is a D, and the A is a C or a B.
I like that.
So,
I concur.
you want to?
You got
A
it.
was mine, so I win.
Yeah.
Do you just do these challenges to kick James'
No.
butt?
Have you
lost
This is the first cookie I've ever cooked. This is the first cookie I've ever baked.
We
And
tied
so-
on bread. We did. Sorry, keep going.
So I win this round. You guys leave suggestions in the comments on what we should cook next.
Yeah.
We'll have another cooking video.
0-2.
Something
No.
else.
0-2 and
We'll
1.
leave these here.
Soccer rules.
Hey, that's a good berry. Thank